Good morning, everybody. I was up very early today. There's been a lot coming in for me over these last couple of days. I'm hopeful that has been received by everybody. There's been such an incredible opportunity for learning and self-growth over these last 2-3 days. This lunar eclipse really is just bringing in a whole energy of healing and reflection on the things that we've really been experiencing. They've really come full term this year. It's been amazing for me. I feel so much lighter, the things that I've released, the energies that I've let go of, and not in a place of, I don't want to look at this and I'm done with it. I was listening to Molly McCord this morning. I listen to her pretty much every day. She's an astrologer. I've linked her videos before, and I post them on my page. She's so incredibly intuitive when it comes to astrology, and also has this way of really being able to link it to your real life where you can understand, even if you don't understand astrology. She speaks what the transits are, but then she relays it down to how you would be experiencing it. Knowing astrology or knowing how to kind of read your chart, even in a simplistic way, really brings more detail to it. Anyway, she's speaking about how we have this ability right now to look at things that we've held on to emotionally with Venus and Scorpio, which isn't where she's comfortable. It's not even close to her home for her. Venus and Scorpio is actually her detriment. She's farthest from home. And we have this ability to really go inside, see where we have been wounded emotionally, and talk that through with ourselves, really try to figure out and see where that comes from and release it for good, and not with the slamming of a door. So when we slam a door, there's still an emotional charge there, but just a soft close. And there are so many things that I have been able to put a soft close to. I loved that like metaphor that she used was just perfect. I literally smiled when she said it. Like, that just made so much sense. And I've gained so much clarity over relationships and behaviors of my own. Realized how much I've had commitment issues, which isn't something that I would have said about myself before this week. But that really hit me in the face yesterday morning. That space between asleep and awake and asleep. I spoke earlier about how that really is when our subconscious is able to come to the surface, and we can have more conscious awareness about our subconscious without our ego and our conscious mind really getting in the way. And we can gain more clarity on things. And that one really hit me yesterday morning. And I just saw these flashes, one after another, of all these instances in my life where I just couldn't commit, And then it's, where does that come from? Why do I do that to myself? Why do I do that in the situations I'm in? That was a really big moment for me. So now comes the healing. Now comes the understanding that this is a good song. Hey Google, tune the volume to 4, please. It's a little loud, I think. But now comes the healing. Now comes the realization that, for me, everything that I was beginning to commit to and then will pull back from are things that I would largely commit to because it's what I thought was expected of me, or it's what allowed me to fit into the places where I was, and that's not me, so I can't commit to it. I wasn't committing to myself. That's not self-love. And at our core, that's what our soul wants, is for us to do what is in alignment with our own hearts and to commit to ourselves. What is our happiness? What is our love? What is our passion? What is our purpose? Where do we actually belong for ourselves? Not just what has grown to be comfortable or socially acceptable. So me being me, now comes like the overhaul, right? I decided I'm gonna redo my house even. Like, we're gonna get it complete, out with the old, in with the new, shift the energy back into myself. You know, my I was laughing yesterday with Mike. My house, if I lived on my own, would be so boho. It would be so comfy cozy. But in a really like tons of throw blankets on the couch and throw pillows and decorations and um, things on the wall and just plants everywhere. And while there's been a lot of that kind of rugs, he hates rugs. He hates rugs. I love rugs. New curtains that go to the floor, like, you know, a place where you walk in and you're just like, wow, this is like so comfy, and I just want to sink into this couch, and I want to just be in that energy, that I just want to be calm. I want to really just be with this person that I'm with and have good conversations, even if it's just with myself. I want to meditate here. Ah, um, and of course, to say this to him, and he's like, "Do whatever you want. Like, I don't care. Yeah, go for it. Whatever makes you happy makes me happy, because that's still him." But well, my house definitely has a lot of more of me that kind of peeks through than him, because I'm the one that decorates. It's not like my home in the way that it would be if I lived on my own. I left yesterday and it was like, we'll make sure that you're comfortable. You always have a say so. Like, do you like this, or do you like this more? Or do you not like this at all? Whatever. But so that whatever, it like sparks my excitement even more about the stepping more into me, my truth. Who am I? I'm a tarot reader, and there's a lot of people that find that weird. There's a lot of people that think that there's no truth into it, or that it's woo woo or whatever. And it's just, you're already receiving guidance throughout the day, whatever you want to call it, your gut feeling, or angels talking, or God, or your higher self, or it just came to my brain. We all get guidance throughout the day, and when you're pulling out the cards that are coming out have a little message in them. And what does your intuitive feeling tell you when you see the cards? And then it's, can you trust that? Can you put the message together and trust it? There's nothing woo about it. Everything is energy. And once you release so much of the ego and our upbringing that says that if you can't see it, you can't believe it. If you can't touch it, it isn't real. And that my experience is different than your experience. And you start to realize you could tap into anything. And then you start to see they really have been all along. You've been tapping into your children, your significant others, your classmates, your parents. um, when we get stuck in heartache, you're still attached to your ex. You can still pull that energy in. You can still sit there in that moment and think about what was it like in a particular moment we were together, and pull that energy in, good or bad. It's how we stay stuck. A job, we've released those energies, and we're releasing the energy off of us. Anyway, morning ramblings. You're always going to get them when we get these early morning readings going. Everyone's asleep. I have all the time in the world to sit here and just blabber to you about whatever I feel like. So I began pulling cards, and then I decided, in another layer of me, these are my videos, and I like them longer. When I have to rush through the message, I skip up over my words even more than I normally would, and I don't feel like there's a true connection there. I want you to pull up a chair, have your coffee or your nighttime wine, or be cooking dinner, and talk with me. And let's just see what happens and shoot the shit. And not rush through a message because you're running out the door and only have half an ear open for it anyway. So I'm going to pull the cards, and what comes up is what comes up. And I'm going to say it as I hear it, and as I feel it, and as I sense it. And it goes where it goes. We'll follow the energy, and it'll just be fun. So for today, that in itself is so funny. When you're reading this, when you're hearing this message, that's when you're supposed to. So there is an energy that really began to manifest itself middle of November. And there was this opportunity through this energy to really begin to see things for what it is, right? For this guidance to begin coming in so that we can work through. This is something that was difficult because there was an element of fear in what way, whatever way that is. You know, greed stems from fear, envy stems from fear. Really, pretty much every negative emotion, every lower vibrational emotion that we can assimilate to comes from a place of fear. So there's some sort of an energy that each of us are individually working through and then collectively work through that is based in fear. And there has been this illumination coming through that's really helping us to work through that. And it's like this fuel has been added to the fire to really expose this and ground the energy of healing in for ourselves. Um, you will know what this thing is because your heart has desired. You have literally sat here and been like, I just need to move past this. I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to keep going through this cycle anymore. I don't want to be in this place anymore. It is what has been heaviest on your heart. It's your star card in tarot. It's your wish upon a star, keeps you up at night. Wish I may, wish I might have this wish I wish tonight. And the universe says, done. I'm going to bring in all of the energy and the guidance and the help that you need to say goodbye to this. You better keep your windows and your doors open because it's coming. And if you close the windows and the doors, we're just going to kind of beat on it. Maybe it's relationships. I don't know. It's funny that it broke in the middle of the lovers. So within that, there has been this ability to trust ourselves deeper. When this information is coming in for us, do we trust the information? Which is inherently then trusting in ourselves. What the energy is asking us is to stay focused on that goal, to stay focused on the higher aspects of that energy and not to sink back into the fear, the depression, the darkness, the woe is me type of feelings. As we are healing things, those shittier energies tend to come up. Sometimes it is the shittier energies wanting us to stay there because if we're healing out of it, then they have to go right. It's like they're losing their food source. It's like a little monster that's living inside of you. But generally speaking, whenever we heal something, there is going to be some sort of a dark feeling that comes up. It's something that we have suppressed for so long. It's like if you had a cut and you maybe didn't treat it right away and it got infected and it starts to pus and swell and get infected and gross. And finally you say, I don't want to lose this body part. I had better go to the doctor. So you go to the doctor or the energy healer and you say, look, I got myself this cut and I done messed up and I didn't take care of it. And now I'm realizing that it really, 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 really hurts. And I just want to take care of it, please. I just want to heal it. And the doctor says, okay, your therapist tells you we will work on this. String, Leo. So the doctor begins to heal it and work on it, but that involves cutting out all of the grossness. It involves cutting out all of the infection. They have to really scrape all of like the inside of the walls of the tissue and scrub this out and put on some painful burning chemical-y stuff. But they told you that you have to stay awake for it and they can't numb it and they can't put you to sleep. Maybe they can dull it down a little bit, but you got to really be awake for this because can't let this happen again. Right? I mean, a doctor wouldn't do that, hopefully, but spiritually, they do. You have to stay awake. You have to stay awake and feel this because when we numb it, when the healing is coming up and it becomes painful and we say, yes, I'm getting some wine. Screw this. I'm going to go get myself a whole bunch of pizza. To hell with this. I'm going to go watch some really shitty TV instead. This hurts and it sucks and I don't want to feel it and I'm going to numb it. Well, then we don't really get the whole lesson, do we? It comes back up because we didn't experience it fully. It's just like when we tell our kids, I can sit here and tell you until I'm blue in the face what you need to do, but you just keep making the same mistakes over and over again. And sometimes there's just some lessons in life that you have to fully feel and experience on your own in order to learn them. And that's where that comes from, because it's true. We have to fully experience it to fully experience it. We're almost shortchanging ourselves otherwise. We came here and incarnated as humans to feel into our experience. And to not do that is to take away from ourselves, right? We do ourselves a disservice. So, what I have grown into loving begrudgingly, which is funny because I loved this since I was a kid, was writing down what I'm experiencing. Jillian is going to love hearing that. As I am receiving all of these downloads of like, this has been the deep wound. This is why I've experienced this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And then you made these choices and these choices, and then this happened because of this, and then I'm like, I go crazy writing. This is my newest journal, and half of it, like, I write so fast that you can hardly even read it. I'm not even writing on the lines. I just am like scribble writing as fast as I can. My kids know when I'm in here and like in my office and my light is off and I'm at my desk like this. They come in there and they just sit and they just watch me, which makes me like smile inside, because like we don't write very much anymore, right? Everything is this and this and this and this, but there's so much more catharticism and grounded realism in writing. You know, it's so much more of a release. Jillian's gonna love hearing that also. So I enjoy when my kids can see me doing that. You know, when it comes to them doing like their schoolwork, I'm homeschooling them, and there's times where there's not too much of a struggle with like doing their workbooks and whatnot, but there's definitely that like, I just don't want to write anymore. You know, every once in a while it comes up, and for them to see that like writing is a good thing, it's not a chore. You know, it's a whole other thing. That's just my blabberings. So writing down what you're experiencing, writing what you're learning and receiving, writing what you're seeing, what you're feeling, get it all out. And you don't have to keep it. I encourage you to reread it, because often we learn things on an even deeper level and we see things that we didn't really expect or understand or remember writing when we reread it. And then for me, I like to look back and see where I've grown. Sometimes it's like, it used to be almost embarrassing sometimes, the things that I would see that I had written or that I was feeling, but I've grown into a place of graciousness for myself, you know. I hold myself in a state of grace, that what I'm experiencing is real for myself and I'm experiencing it for a purpose. So to cast shame on myself for how I'm feeling, it isn't helping me. That's a whole other layer of healing I have to go through then. And inherently, that's a layer of healing that you have to go through if you're also in that state. And most of us probably are. You know, there's some point in life where we learned to be ashamed of certain feelings of ours. And, I mean, that's just life, right? So it's learning how to accept how we're feeling and not judge it. It just is what it is. And there's a lesson within it. It's trying to show us something. To ignore it and push it down into the shadows does us no good. We're just making another wound. And if you don't want to keep it forever, you don't want to look back and reflect on it, then burn it. Or if you live by the ocean like me, and you're fortunate in my opinion in that regard, send it out in the ocean. Go bury it. Like whatever is cathartic for you to end that, whatever is ritualistic for you, of like, and now I'm healing this and I'm done with it and I don't need to revisit it again. So all of my little cards that really kind of pulled it all up. Soul healing, messages coming in about how we can begin stepping more into our truth and our power and releasing what's ready to be healed. What makes us happy, what is releasing for us. I hope that this message finds you all super, super well. 20 minutes isn't too bad for a random ramble. These are usually like an hour. I'm kind of proud of myself. Real opportunity today to create those shifts and let that seep everywhere in life. Don't just let that be an emotional one. Let that be in your home. Let that be in your work. Let that be in your relationships. Let it infiltrate everywhere. Let the light seep in everywhere. And that healing will be so much bigger then. Every aspect of your life will heal with your emotional healing when you allow it to kind of trickle into all of the different facets. So I encourage that. I'm doing work around my house today, not just with redecorating, which I'm so excited about. I'm like gonna go rock Goodwill and find some really awesome fabrics to like just throw everywhere. My dog loves to escape. Ever the runner. Pretty sure she's a Virgo, so like blows my mind. I'm gonna have to look into like her chart. Never looked at my animals' charts. Something in that dog makes her want to forever run away. We don't even know how she's escaping at this point, but it's like daily. I got in the shower yesterday. I checked all of my doors to make sure that they were closed. My son comes in 10 minutes into my shower. They were all at the friend's house playing, so it wasn't them. He says, "Mom, a man just brought Olivia home. He said that she ran away again." I'm like, how? The doors are closed. I think she's jumping out windows. I had one window open, but she's no way she is. But she might be growing wings and flying. I don't know. So, fence. The fence has to go up and be moved, and a gate has to go up. The yard is mostly fenced in, but there's one spot in our carport that's not, and that's got to change. So, that's going to happen. Gonna get this house going. Gonna keep writing down what I'm experiencing and learning, releasing it out, feeling lighter and smilier and happier. And tonight we're going to see Christmas lights, which is really exciting because love Florida so much. But if there's one thing that Florida typically lacks when it comes to Christmas, it is the general ambiance of Christmas. It's very hard to feel super Christmassy when it's 82 and sunny and you're surrounded by palm trees. And then I laugh to remember that like not everybody in the entire world experiences cold and snow for Christmas. So for them, like this is normal and they don't know that aspect of Christmas. Yet again, how it's funny how like our experiences in life are different and that gives us different perspectives, right? Yesterday I donned my I Believe in Santa Claus and Unicorns sweater and I have on my Merry Slothmas socks. Merry Slothmas. Just doing what I can. We have our tree up, started decorating, probably put the lights on the outside of the house today. So we're just going to do the little things that, bring in the shift. And as I heal myself, then there's parts of my kids and of Mike that heal and things click into place for them. Same as will happen for you. It's trickle down effect. Heal yourself, you heal those around you. Heal the past, heal the future. Alrighty, I hope you all have an incredible day. I will see you all soon enough, I am certain, because I just love doing these videos for all 4 of you that watch. Shh. That's okay. Those who need to see these will see these, and at some point, it'll trigger, and the butterfly effect will flutter out, and this video will be meaningful to the person that's watching it 7 years from now. They'll be like, what do you mean? You have thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers, not just 4. They'll be shocked and they don't know what I'm talking about. Ground that into this reality. All right, I love you all. Have a great day. Have an incredible start to your weekend. This is incredible, so I hope that you step into it. So much incredibleness. Let's just let it all be incredible. I love you all very much. Bye.